Hello and welcome to the Women in Tech Revolving Fund launch. My name is Linda Kwamboka. I am an entrepreneur in residence and manager at IB's Africa Center at Strathmore University. Today, we'd like to share with you our audacious goal to support women financing who are running their businesses and really celebrate the further they have come in expanding their runway and making their businesses sustainable. The initiative really focuses on the importance of financing and strengthening women and their businesses. And if you can take your time to please follow us on our social media platforms for further conversation. If you have any questions along the way, on Twitter, you can follow us at Standard Chat KE at IBIS Africa. And for our hashtag today, we'll be working with hashtag SC Women in Tech, hashtag Women in Tech KE, and hashtag WIT Revolving Fund. Please use those social media handles so that you can have further conversation. And for those who have missed the opportunity to join us today, they can catch up with what was going on in the sessions. A bit of an overview is that raising capital really is difficult for any entrepreneur. And women who are running their businesses, especially in tech, face further challenges of having people on the board and investors who look like them to actually listen to their pitches and basically provide financing for their businesses. However, what the bank is doing right now is to change that narrative and to look at all the organizations and any initiatives that are supporting entrepreneurs in the ecosystem to have this conversation and to really introduce and include women in terms of parity and bringing sustainability in running their businesses. So when we look at how the Women in Tech program has run over the past 4 years, we've supported 40 women entrepreneurs. And out of those, we have seen $600,000 raised after the $10,000 grant has been provided. And we are seeing that pushing the limit and really focusing on an audacious goal to support women further in terms of funding and having this conversation and introducing it to the ecosystem is quite needed and is the right timing. So we thank you so much for joining us in this conversation. And as we're moving forward, we hope that for those who want to support women ventures and to support this initiative further, you can follow us on our hashtag, reach out to us, and the chat room is actually open. If you have any questions along the way, we are welcoming your questions. Any points of discussion or comments are also open on the chat window, so please text it there. But without further ado, I want to thank you so much for joining us and introduce our first speaker, Dr. Sevilla. Dr. Joseph Sevilla is the director of iLab Africa, where we conduct research in Strathmore University. He is also the director of IBIS Africa, the business incubator for the university as well. So Dr. Sevilla, if you could unmute your mic and put on your video so that then you can start with your welcome remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda, for your very nice introduction. Welcome everybody to this virtual launch of the Standard Chartered Revolving Fund. I'm very happy that we have reached this stage that began about 4 years ago when Standard approached us to collaborate with them in this Women in Tech initiative. I thought at the time that was a wonderful initiative. As Linda has mentioned, for any entrepreneur, it's already difficult to get their company started and to gain traction and to continue growing it, okay? But for women, in a way, it's especially difficult. They face special challenges to get their companies off the ground. So with this initiative, with Standard, we have been able to run 3 cohorts already, and now we're in the 4th cohort. We had over 1,000 applicants, of which in each cohort we ended up selecting 10 for a period of training, and then eventually 3 for a further support. I have some information that we have gathered on the impact of these activities. And I can tell you in some of the cases, the companies that join us and receive this support experience a growth of about 1,100% in just a period of 2 years, okay? Okay, this I'm telling you from the information that I have, maybe the best case that I have seen, but looking at other cases, increments of 900%, 500%, 300% in a period of 2 years are quite common. So that gives us an idea of how great the impact of these activities that we have been engaged in the last 4 years is impacting society in general and women in particular, okay? It's incredible to see how maybe these small companies, when they join our program, can grow through the years and then become really successful enterprises run by women. So today we are seeing a new welcome development that would be this fund. This fund will continue supporting these companies, continue supporting their growth. And in these times especially, there is also another factor. I mean, again, looking at the performance of these companies over the last few years, you see in some cases, not in all cases, but in some cases, they have indeed suffered in the year 2020 due, well, one will assume, to COVID, okay? In some cases experiencing about a 50% decrease in their revenues. As I'm saying, it's not all of them. Some of them have managed to weather very well the COVID situation and continue growing over this period. And we congratulate these companies. But again, this revolving fund could be something that might help the companies that suffer maybe to continue their growth and to spur their growth. Finally, I want to, well, again, thank Standard Charter for their support on this very important initiative. I think I understand also that Women in Technology The Women in Technology program is run in other countries, not just in Kenya, but Kenya would be the first country where this fund is going to be implemented. So thank you very much for supporting our country and recognizing the entrepreneurial spirits that women have in this country. And thank all of you, all the participants, all the companies. I hope you have experienced the support and through the activities that we have been conducting in this program, you will continue, and maybe in a few years you will be one of the maybe multinationals that will make an impact not just in Kenya but in the whole of Africa. So thanks a lot, and Linda, maybe back to you at this point.
Thank you, Dr. Severe, for the wonderful welcome remarks. Indeed, we're looking at global impact, and even better, we are starting from home. So starting these initiatives where we have an enterprising community and ecosystem is a very great move, I will say, for all those who want to support entrepreneurship. Next, we have Mr. Kariuki Ngari, who is the CEO and Managing Director of Standard Chartered Bank Kenya and East Africa. Mr. Kariuki is an accomplished career banker with over 23 years of retail banking experience. He has earned his recognition through successfully transforming the consumer banking divisions of Standard Chartered Bank Kenya and East Africa. Without much further ado, I'd like to welcome you, Mr. Kariuki. If you could unmute your mic. I can see that your video is on, so please go ahead, and we're ready to receive your opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. And first of all, I must say how excited I am to join you this morning and this afternoon if you're listening from somewhere else, a different time zone. It's really been a journey for us. When I look at 2017, when we launched this program, we didn't think that we'd be able to go this far. But when I was looking at what we've been able to accomplish in those short 4 or 5 years, where now we are in the 4th cohort, it's over. What also excites me is the number of applications that people who actually apply. We've had over 1,000 applications, and every year we are seeing the number of applications increasing. And then also what our partnership with the Strathmore Business School is able to achieve. Because when finally, the final cohort, the shortlisted 10 business women or entrepreneurs go and go through the training with Strathmore Business School, it completely changes their life. There are 2 stories I've never forgotten. There was one particular lady, maybe she's listening to me, and she said, if you had given her the $10,000 or the million shillings before the training, she would have taken a holiday, treated her family to a holiday, bought herself some new outfits, then probably put maybe a quarter or less into the business. But because of going through the training, she was able to put the entire award that we gave her into our business, because it completely changed her mindset. And that is something, I think, to me, that is what is exciting about this program, that you take people who've got great ideas, but probably not as good when it comes to business, how to manage their business, and you completely transform them. And once you transform them, they'll go out there to create employment and to continue generating income, but also changing the world in which they live in. So that's one thing that I'm really excited about. The second story is over the last, before we got completely locked down and our life changed, in the 2019 program, I remember where when talking to some of you, the feedback was, so how can you help us? This is a great program you've given us. However, especially the cohorts that had graduated earlier, there was one consistent theme. And one particular entrepreneur came and said, I need money. I've gotten orders. My business is really taking off. But unfortunately, you're not helping me. You can't help me anymore, so I have to go to a different bank. And that got me thinking. And I came back and challenged the team and said, I think we need to do more. We've got to trust that after they've gone through the training, excellent training by business, Strathmore Business School, surely they should be different. We need to look at it differently. And we started having that conversation engagement internally to say, we need to do something about this. They are telling us consistently, how can you help me really scale up? How can you help me really scale up? And I'm excited about what we are trying to do today. This is the first of many. And for us today, what we are launching today, as far as $50,000, 5 million fund, 5 million shillings fund, to me is just the beginning. I'm looking forward to really scaling this up completely, so that when you come, depending on the way your business has expanded or grown and the orders that you've got, we shall be able to mainstream bank you now. We are looking at this to say that, yes, it's an interest-free facility, payable over 24 months, up to a maximum of 200,000. But our vision is much bigger than that. We want to see, what are we going to learn? What are we going to learn with the people who are out there? And how are we going to really scale this up? So we are reaching the stage where we are getting ready to really scale up and now put you so that you run it like a proper business. It's not a handout, it's a business where we give you the loan at the rate that you will be definitely be able to afford, and you can run it up and you can scale up that your business. And I believe that's why you go through the process of applying, go through the internship and the training, and also what happens after you've graduated. So I'm excited about today. So to me, we had your story, we had your cry, and now we are starting to get there. We're starting to launch it. And we will not rest. And that's a challenge for all of us in Standard Chartered. We will not rest until this becomes mainstream banking. And it's something I'm really looking forward to do in the next few months. So I'm excited, and I thank you very much. And I look forward to this continued partnership to help your business scale up, to help your business continue to grow, so that you continue making a big difference to your life and the community around you. Thank you very much, Linda. Over to you. Linda, you're on mute.
Thank you so much for that. Sorry, I was speaking on mute. We thank you so much, Mr. Kariuki, for wonderful remarks, and especially knowing that this is just the beginning. And then again, having this first done in Kenya makes a great difference and a great impact. So we're looking at growing more ventures and supporting them further. And as you've said, the bank is looking at a bigger plan. So this is just but the beginning. So thank you so much. And next we have Julie Wallace. Julie Wallace is the global head of partnership of community and engagement at the bank. And Julie really focuses on sustainability at the bank, and also she has had more than 2 decades of professional experience in corporate, multilateral, and public sectors, where she has specialized on international development and corporate philanthropy, with experience working across North America, Europe, Asia, Africa. Julie is currently, as I've said, the global head of community and engagement at the bank. And in her capacity, she formulates the bank's sustainability strategy across 67 countries, Kenya being one of them. And we're very happy to be part of this network. Julie, welcome. And we're looking forward to getting your remarks this morning. If you could unmute your mic, or which you have already unmuted, so welcome. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. It's so nice to join you today. I'm Julie. I'm with Standard Chartered, based in our London office. And first, just wanted to say thank you to Strathmore and to Kariuki and all of my colleagues in Kenya for taking forward the Women in Tech initiative. I'm glad to join you all virtually today. And a few years ago, I attended one of the launches in Nairobi, which was so wonderful to see the energy and the enthusiasm and the ideas that you all were generating. Strathmore, you're really leading a world-class program, and we've encouraged our other colleagues around the world to build on the example that you've created. So as Kariuki mentioned, at Standard Chartered, we really believe in promoting economic inclusion in our communities. We want to be really involved with local organizations and our partners, sharing our skills. And in 2019, we launched a global initiative, which we call Futuremakers by Standard Chartered. And our ambition here is to promote economic inclusion through education, employability, and entrepreneurship. And part of this is about providing training, but the other part is about starting to unblock the barriers that are holding young people or female business owners back from fulfilling their potential and reaching their dreams. And when you start in this line of work, you quickly realize that access to finance and partnerships is really a key barrier. So working together with Strathmore and listening, as Kariuki said, to the experience and examples of the women in tech participants, we really thought there's got to be more we can do as a bank to help unlock this capital. So that's why we're really excited about this initiative that we're launching here today. And we're hoping that it goes really well in Nairobi so that you all can grow your businesses across Kenya and East Africa. And then we'd look to take it to more markets. We have piloted a lot of entrepreneurship activities across our markets over the past couple of years, and we're seeing great momentum at all different levels of the spectrum. So, you know, the women in tech participants, you all are really experienced. You've gone through an in-depth training. Most of you have quite a lot of experience in past professions or in your current professions. But we're also partnering things with younger women in some of our markets. For example, we've worked with young girls in Zambia who've started a mask making company in response to COVID. And we've had other young women start innovative ideas, whether it's making small books or building bricks in their community. So across the spectrum, we're trying to promote entrepreneurship. And our aim is to reach 50,000 entrepreneurs by 2023, which may seem like a small number, but in reality, we want to provide training and financing so that we're not just training 50,000 entrepreneurs, but we're enabling and empowering and listening to the needs of those entrepreneurs and helping them grow their business. Because we know when entrepreneurs grow their businesses, more jobs are created. And we know when female entrepreneurs grow their businesses, the benefits go beyond just the local community, but really run deep into the family, benefiting the whole family and particularly the children in that family. So we're really excited. Can't wait to hear how this goes. And I hope to join you soon in Kenya.
Thank you, Julie. As you've said it, when women are growing their businesses and they expand and scale, the impact is greater in the community. And we are looking forward to being part of that impact and really facilitating it. So thank you so much for being wonderful partners. I'd like to talk about the revolving fund, a little bit about it. And just to mention that this product was designed to support the network of women in tech alumni past the program of the Standard Chartered Women in Tech incubation program. However, as we've listened from the partners themselves at the bank, we are hoping that this could be opened up to more people so that our pilot can benefit and open doors for a lot more organizations. The fund will be a relatively short-term working capital fund to enable entrepreneurs to stabilize their businesses. We've seen what COVID has done to some of the businesses, while others are really thriving, especially those in fintech and those in education or even social media platforms. Others have really suffered, especially those in the hospitality industry. And such a fund and access to the short-term facility will actually support most of those businesses. However, what we're looking forward to is to explore growth opportunities within the digital economy. And that is what the Women in Tech program really is there to facilitate, as well as the fund. So I would like to explain a little bit and give more information about the fund itself. We are looking at both working capital and CapEx funding. So if you're looking at buying assets and capital for your businesses, or you'd like some amount of short-term facility to help you move things around in terms of working capital, there is a ceiling of 100,000 Kenyan shillings for the working capital to be paid within 12 to 24 months, same as the asset acquisition or capital acquisition funding. All this is available at 0% interest rate. And we are looking at the people or the individuals and the businesses that are actually bankers or banking with the Standard Chartered Bank. And basically on top of this, what the bank is doing is to provide you with a network of 25 mentors globally who then can work with you if required and mentor you on how best to apply and also buffer yourself in terms of risk when you access this financing. So that is why it's important to have your bank account where we are monitoring the health of your account and expenditure by the bank. So next, I'd like also to talk about the eligibility criteria and who can be able to access this financing. First of all, we are looking at businesses in this pilot phase, businesses that have been part of the Women in Tech program. So those who have not been part of the program, do not worry. We are definitely going to give you a link where you can register and be part of our waiting list to join the program, where you can access both the grant and also this financing product from the bank, so that then you can be able to extend your runway when things are difficult or when you actually need to expand your activities and operations. We are looking at businesses that have had 0 incidences in the past 12 months of default in terms of the loan facilities that they have accessed prior to this request. And they should have been in at least 1 year operations and having an annual turnover of about 750,000 Kenyan shillings. So for those businesses that are seriously moving forward annually and keeping themselves running, I'm sure this is quite accessible and also doable to all of you. And like any other venture that is investing in you as an entrepreneur, there's a due diligence process where we're looking at legal and financial compliance. So are you following the compliance that the government has put in place? And also, how does your financial, especially with the Revenue Authority, are you following that process, basically? But we've made it very simple. So I'll just describe to you the process of accessing the fund. Basically, the entrepreneur, the business, will go through an application process. So there will be a form where you fill in your needs and you fill in your information. And after that, we're going through a pre-screening process. And once you qualify from the investment committee that has screened through your details, the business will be introduced to the Standard Chartered Bank contacts. That they will go through a loan approval, and finally the funds will be disbursed to the business itself once they've gone through the various due diligence checkpoints. I would like to encourage all of you, if you have any questions, please post them on the chat. If you have any comments, please post them on the chat as well, and follow us on hashtag SC Women in Tech for further discussions. I can see some of the questions are coming in and some of the comments. And if we can move forward to the question and answer session, then I will be very happy to address any that have come up. Any questions that we have from the guests? We're happy to receive them on chat. I can see friends of the community congratulating us on the way forward. So thank you so much for the words of encouragement. Bernard Combo, if you could type in your question, please. You can unmute your mic. Bernard, yes.
Sorry, I didn't have a question that I wanted to ask. I'm sorry.
Pardon, what did you say?
I didn't have a question. I'm part of the team that is spearheading this, so I didn't have a question, unless there's a question for me to answer.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much for your support. I know we have other members of the bank who are supporting in this process, so thank you so much for being present. And also some of them can answer these questions as well. A question from Peter Nyambura: what is the duration from applying to receiving the money? So definitely the process will have to go through the application process, which we are hopeful that entrepreneurs, as soon as they apply, it will take a bit of a week to go through the analysis and send that information to the bank. From there, I believe the bank will put its best foot forward to avail it. However, I would ask someone from the bank, Stephen or Bernard, to support us in answering that question. But from the university side, we'll take a maximum of a week to screen and to pass on the information to the bank. Anyone from the bank would like to help us address the question?
Okay,
Yeah.
I can pick up that. So the moment you have finished the screening on your end and it comes to the bank side, so it will take within a week, we should be able to go back to the applicant with the facilitator. They'll sign, bring back to us. Then the following week, we should be able to draw funds into the account. So it will take a maximum of 2 weeks when it comes to us on the other side.
Thank you so much, Bernard. And I believe that is the beauty of having known the entrepreneurs over the period of 12 months in supporting them in the program. So thank you for that. We also have another question from John Matogo. Any ideas to increase the fund size? Is it open for others to support? Yes, that one I can tell you for sure it is open. But I think we can also ask, we have Sarah on the call as well, but we have definitely talked about inviting other partners who are willing and interested to be part of the fund and supporting further, for sure. That has been in the conversation. Sarah, maybe you can help us to address that question.
Sure, Linda. Yes, the bank, as you heard Kariuki say and Julie say as well, we really would like to take this fund and a lot of our initiatives around supporting small businesses larger. So we certainly welcome partnerships with other individuals and organizations so that we can build up scale to take this to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, we are having from John Matogo: is it possible for Standard Chartered Bank to open their network of larger business customers to the women in tech businesses? I would answer part of that question, and that is where we've opened up a mentorship program of over 25 individuals from the bank themselves to have a lifelong conversation with the entrepreneurs. So we're not looking at short-term mentoring, we're looking at a lifetime of support from the bank. And so far, 25 members of their teams have signed up, and they want to at least shepherd some of these conversations, help the entrepreneurs to answer the bigger questions. Do I really want to be an entrepreneur? Or am I ready for expansion? And to have those critical moments where they feel that they have a sounding board, not just for the Kenyan market, really, and it's not necessarily for expansion, but to answer the bigger questions of what it means to be in business. And some of them, of course, will be an access to some of the business customers, but officially, because that will be more of one-on-one between the mentor and the entrepreneur, but officially, I'm sure this is a conversation that the bank is open to have, but I will also not speak on their behalf, but some of these conversations, we've already held them. And the bank also has, I believe, periodic meetups with members of the institution. So if you're an account holder, there are certain opportunities that are forwarded and extended to you as a customer of the bank, which the entrepreneurs or the Women in Tech network are a part of. I don't know whether I did it justice, but Bernard Combo, if you can help me to fill in any gaps that that may be there in my response?
Thanks a lot. So in response directly to this fund is open to those women who have gone through this program, women businesses that have gone through this program. So them, they qualify for the fund. For others who are larger entities, supporting them will have to be outside the fund, and that we can look at it on business by business case. In terms of mentorship, that's something that can be arranged with the bank and provide mentorship to those women enterprises. Thank you.
Correct. Thank you so much, Bernard. There's another question from Irene Wihaki. The question is, can the companies that did not make it to the top 5 access the revolving fund? Yes, the top 10 companies in the Women in Tech program will have access to the fund itself. Yeah. Then also the very kind remarks where we are receiving congratulatory messages and also receiving thank you notes from members of the community. Carol Ofafa asks, kindly explain a bit more on the 750,000 Kenyan shillings annual turnover and if it's a negotiable condition. Bernard?
Okay, thanks again. So the minimum turnover, the 750, is negotiable. It depends what business you are in and what exactly are you going to supply. So it's not that we are closing the window for someone who is almost reaching the 750. But that also, as I'll say, it will be handled on a case-by-case basis, depending what you're supplying, how long you are going to do that specific project. And as a bank, will not be shy away from supporting you.
Okay, great. As we've said, this fund is being piloted and mostly from the network of women we've supported through the program. And what we are hoping to achieve is to scale it up. It's the bank is thinking really big, but of course there has to be a start point. And hopefully from these conversations with the contact people at the bank to access the financing, we will be able to see more quick borrowing and refund or pay back to the bank, so that then it can open doors. We are really hopeful that this pilot will be successful. We have really good messages from Adelaide, from Kimathi, and Sarah, congratulating the bank and the program for this. Then there's one question where we are being asked to clarify if previous Women in Tech cohorts are eligible for the facility. Yes. If all the 30 businesses so far, so we're going to have 40 at the end of this year, that have gone through the program will access the fund. Yes, Kimathi, so that's correct. Any other questions or comments that you would want us to address? If you require further information, you can always email us at admin@ibisafrica@strathmore.edu. My colleagues will type it out on chat so that you can have access to it and reach out to us if you have further questions. And apart from that, also we'd like to share with you the link to the form, so that if you have not been part of the program but would want to access the grant financing or the facility from the bank, you will be listed on our waiting list and invited to the program for the 5th year in running, so that then you can access some of this support in running your business. So as seen on the screen, bit.ly/women in WIT revolving fund. So please take note of that. Anyone can fill in the form and we will know which category you belong to, so that then we can put you in the pipeline to receiving the support that you can get. And especially majority run, the business should be owned majorly by a woman or run by a woman as well. So that is what I would like to put across. Thank you so much for the kind words that you're sending on chat. If we have no further questions, or maybe last remarks, Sarah, do you have any last remarks that you'd like to pass across?
Sure. And mine is basically to say, you know, as you've heard over and over again, the bank really is serious about partnering with small businesses to increase your opportunities to grow. You've heard Julie talk about Futuremakers. We really do want to see small businesses grow, because the future, and I believe the future of Kenya is entrepreneurship. So even though we're starting to pilot this program with the women in tech, if you're a small business startup through IBIZ Africa and you're on this call, do not despair. As Linda says, we have to have a starting point. And from then on, we can expand the program further. So please do continue following updates from us and from IBIZ Africa to hear about when you can participate. Thanks, Linda.
Well, I want to thank our speakers. I mean, Julie, Mr. Karaoke Ngare, Julie Wallace, Mr. Karaoke Ngare, Dr. Sevilla, Sarah, yourself, and Bernard Combo from the bank. We thank you so much for your support and your presence here. I'd also like to thank Meryl Omondi, Bet, Diana Mutua, who have been the support also on the university side to put this event together. We're very, very thankful and very open to receive any questions, any comments, or even partnerships, so that then we can provide this support at a bigger scale to entrepreneurs. So thank you so much. And I don't see any further comments or questions that we can address. And perhaps we can come to a close of the event. I mean, we've really kept time. We do not want to keep people from their busy schedules of the day. And if you have any conversations that you'd like to further with us, you have the email address, you have our hashtag. Sometimes we've seen people starting conversations on social media, and they've actually advanced to an official framework. So you're very much welcome. So thank you so much. And we would like to end our session there. And we look forward to supporting more entrepreneurs and especially women-run businesses at the moment. Have a good day ahead. And we thank you so much for your attention and also for your time. Goodbye.